Hey house guests, welcome to today's bbcan night updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Darren McDowell and Deb Wicks. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, Austin and Brayden finally hit the campaign trail. They're finally going for it. As a result of that, Ro, Tina, and Tara really want Austin to stay. They feel like she's better for their games. She's good at competitions. They're confident that she would take a shot at Jed and Ty. And she is, in their minds, less likely to work with the throuple than Brayden would be, because they're really paranoid at how confident Beth is that she has Brayden in her pocket once Austin is gone. They don't like that. So they would definitely prefer that Austin stays. She would also be a huge target / shield in front of them, right? So that would make them feel a lot better. However, they can't find a fourth vote to make it happen. You need 4 votes to evict this week. Victoria, she's the HOH. She can't vote anyway, but if she could, she wants Austin out. Kiefer, Ty, Jed, they all want Austin out. And honestly, I don't see Beth going against the guys. I mean, you never know, but at this point in the game, I don't really see it. But Austin did make an interesting pitch to Beth that she should just, vote to keep her and then blame it on Kiefer, which would be a lot of fun. But I don't really see it happening. So Austin and Rohan were chatting in the Destiny bedroom, and Austin is finally like, I think Victoria might be the HOH. Oh, really? She had a chat with Victoria when she was doing her campaign rounds, and Victoria was talking about how she feels so bad that Austin's in this situation, and, she felt left out of the group, and blah, blah, blah. So Austin's thinking, this may have been an emotional move by Victoria. It's seeming like she could be the invisible HOH here, because she kept saying that she felt rejected by Austin and Brayden. And now Victoria's tighter than ever with the guys. So what's going on there? So Austin's saying she's now 50-50 between it being Victoria or Ty. Either one of them could be the HOH. And it's Victoria! Ro still seems very skeptical. He's like, that would be so shitty if it was Victoria. It is shitty. And I'm a Victoria fan, but oh my god, I feel like she made a mistake this week. So he's like, if it's her, good job. She fooled us. But at the same time, not a great move on her part. I would have to agree. Not a great move. So Ro is also really confused. If Victoria is the HOH, why is the other side running around so much, freaking out about the vote this week? They should have their 4 votes with the throuple and Kiefer. So why are they so panicky? It's kind of making him think that maybe it's not Victoria, maybe it is Ty, because then they wouldn't have that vote. It's Victoria. So Austin is like, all right, this is going to sound crazy, but I think I might have Beth. She did make a very good pitch to Beth, it seems. We didn't get to see the whole thing on the feeds, but I mean, it's doubtful that she actually has Beth. It's possible, but doubtful. But I have to say, Beth was really taken aback when Jed pretty much admitted the other night, in front of Austin as well, that Beth would not be in such a good spot in the game if she wasn't single. Yikes! So I think that made Beth really think, am I just, letting these guys run my game? Am I gonna get credit for anything? I think she's realizing she needs to maybe play for herself moving forward. I don't think she's at the point, though, of going against them, but I think it's something that's definitely on her mind more and more, especially since people keep going to her and saying over and over again, you can't go to the end with those guys. They're not going to take you to the final 2. You're not going to be able to beat them. And they're just, hammering this into her head over and over again. And it's part of her plan to play into this, but I think she is starting to question as well, ooh, am I making a mistake here? So Ro says he's still going to try and campaign a little bit more. So Ro campaigns to Victoria in the ball pit on Austin's behalf. And just a reminder here, Victoria does not have a vote this week as the invisible HOH, but Ro is trying to make sure all the bases are covered. He also doesn't 100% believe that Victoria is the HOH. So Ro asks, how have your conversations been going? And Victoria says, they're good. But she lets him know right at the beginning of this conversation, she's definitely leaning towards keeping Brayden. She says, Brayden really made me feel like he wants to work with me moving forward. He assured me that he's not afraid to go after big targets. And she says, I don't want to go against the house. So Ro says, I hate to say this, but it really frustrates me that Ty and Jed think they have you wrapped around their finger. He says they're all over you right now because they need your vote, because they want Austin to go, but as soon as they don't need someone anymore, they split. I mean, he's got a point there, right? And he gives some other examples, like look at Kiefer's HOH week. They wanted to make sure they were good with Kiefer. They wanted Kiefer to put up certain people. So they were all over him, all in his HOH room all week. And then after Kiefer wasn't HOH anymore, they were spending way less time with him. And look at this week. Ro says they didn't want me to use the power veto, so they were all over me, like making shakes for me or whatever, making me food. And then after I didn't use the POV, that's it. So Victoria's like, the guys don't have me. Don't worry about it. Sure. So Ro says the guys want Austin out because she's targeting them. And he's like, are we going to give the guys what they want? And Victoria says, that's what I want too. I want Austin out. I don't vibe with her. I don't trust her. And Victoria, she claims that she's targeting Ty and Jed. Again, doubtful. Maybe down the line, but she was the HOH this week, and she didn't. And she could have done it under the cover of the invisible HOH, but she chose not to. So Rose says, I just really hope you're not buying into their BS. Victoria says, no way. Okay, so then Victoria says, this is not something new. Like, I wanted Austin out last week as well. I tried hard to keep Kyle in this game and get rid of Austin, because she treated me like shit. Oof. This conversation's not going anywhere. They talk for a little while more, but Victoria wants Austin out, and Ro is not swaying her with this. So later, Ro checks back in with Austin, and he's like, I'm really sorry. I really tried, but it's looking like you're gonna be going. So they hug, and Austin is just like really zen in this moment. I think she had a feeling it was a long shot anyway, but she says she's going to be rooting for Ro and Brayden. She's going to be okay. So Ro lets her know they were only one vote away. Oh, that's a punch to the gut. He says, but Victoria was just set in stone for Austin to go. There's no swaying her. They agree it's the wrong move for Victoria's game, but it is what it is. What are you going to do about it, you know? So Austin reassures Ro, like, Brayden's going to be a really strong partner for you. I'm going to be rooting for you guys, yada, yada, yada. Austin also asked for a sympathy vote. And we saw last week that Ro still voted for Kyle, even though he knew Kyle was going. And Ro says, I want to, but I got to check the vibe of the house. And she's like, well, if it's going to hurt your game, don't do it. So we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't be surprised if she got a sympathy vote, but we'll see. So she was handling it really well. After a few minutes of chatting, she did start to get a little emotional, crying a little bit. She was talking about how she's going to be close to Carb for the rest of her life. They're going to be good friends. That's sweet. All right. So then a little later, Austin lets Brayden know it's not looking good for her. She tells him, Ro gave me the heads up, that is going to be me. So they were crying together, and Brayden says he's really sorry, and Austin says, it's okay. You're going to be okay without me. I'm really curious to see what Brayden's game is going to be like without Austin, because I feel like he hasn't done a ton yet, and it's going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward. So this next part actually happened before that little crying thing with Austin, but I wanted to keep all the crying together there. So Ty is working on pulling in Brayden. You know, they know that Brayden is staying at this point. The throuple wants him to be their new fourth. They've got a 4 with Kiefer. They've got a 4 with Victoria. They also want to have a 4 with Brayden. So we also know that Ty is aware that Brayden has a crush on him, and he's been using that to his advantage. Ooh. So, yeah. But anyway, Ty says, oh, I always wanted to work with you. And Brayden says, yeah, Austin leaving is going to be like a game reset for me. So Ty says, I want you to know I did not put you guys up this week. I know people were thinking that I was the invisible HOH, but I was not. And he says, I never wanted either of you to go. I mean, that's not true. He did want Austin to go. But anyway, Ty says, I feel like we can build trust, and I feel like we have mutual targets. And Brayden did his, of course. You know, that's his response a lot of times, of course. So Ty promises that he would not put Brayden up on the block. Okay. We'll see. So then the feeds they were on and off for a while last night, and it seems like Big Brother gave them some stuff to study, possibly for a memory competition. It had something to do with a calendar and keeping track of different events on different dates. I'm wondering if this is all it's all part of an April Fool's prank, and maybe the HOH comp will have nothing to do with this, and they're just messing with them. I could totally see Big Brother doing that. But last night, all of the non-throuple house guests were extra annoyed with Beth because they felt like she was creeping on their studying techniques and just being fake and looking for like any info that she could bring back to Ty and Jed. Sounds about right. So then this morning, the house guests were studying. Nothing too new there. Austin and Brayden exchanged gifts before they're separated. And Austin gave Brayden this, like, crystal that she was saving for her soulmate. Even if you're not into all those, like, crystals and stuff, I just feel like that's really sweet. And then Brayden gave her his beret with a spritz of his cologne. That's cute, too. They're so cute. You gotta love friendships like that, right? So unless something crazy happens, Austin will be evicted tonight. Do you think there's gonna be any April Fool's pranks? Do you think maybe there won't be an eviction? Do you think maybe they were messing with them about the HOH? I don't know. It is possible that they could be up to something tonight. We'll see. But I want to know in the comments, who are you guys rooting for to win this HOH? I think for me, I would like to see Ro or Brayden win because I just think we need a power shift again, and that would be pretty exciting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until next time,